Greetings and a Happy New Year indeed, Reggies! This is Cena Talks from the MythBusters and we formally welcome you to the Bona Fide Buzz. Para sa ating pilot episode, our very first guest is none other than give it up to Mr. Mark Joel Q. Morales, ang dakilang School Information Coordinator at Co-Advisor ng English School Paper Organization of RSHS3. Sir, baka may gusto po tayong batiin?
Hello, good afternoon. First off, I would like to thank MythBusters for having me today and a pleasant day to all the viewers of MythBusters.
Ayan, maraming salamat po sir sa pagpapaunlak sa aming not so spur of the moment invitation. Kung pang ilang take po ito, secret. Anyhow, mabalik po tayo sir. Ang tanong, ready na po ba kayo?
Ready na!
At dahil born ready si Sir, huwag na tayo magpatumpik-tumpik pa. We will now proceed to our Q&A portion. I have here my partner in crime for the first question to be asked by Miss Cheska Bermido. Iska, bilang warm-up sa ating question and answer, pwede mo bang i-share sa ating mga viewers anong New Year's resolution mo ngayong taon?
Hi, sir! Hi, Reggie! So, feeling ko yung New Year's resolution ko ngayon, hindi na ako matutulog tuwing may movie na pinapanood si Sir Joel. Promise na yan, sir! Promise! Manonood na talaga ako buong movie. So, ayun, without further ado, let's continue na sa ating first question for Sir Joel. So, for your first question, sir, in today's world governed by technology, how does social media act as mechanism of communication in RSHS3?
Okay. So, for me to better answer that, siguro kailangan din ng konting pagbabalik tanaw. A few years back, I was also an ST sa RSHS3, 2014-2015. Noong mga panahon na yun, syempre, gamit naman na ang social media. It was already being used by the students, but primarily for socialization, getting in touch with their friends, with their family and loved ones. But ngayon, especially since we are transitioning from the distance learning modality, during the distance learning modality, alam ko mas nagamit natin ang social media, ang Facebook particularly, even for your ACADS. Diba, you have your Facebook groups, you have your group chats in which you interact with your teachers, with your classmates, you talk about school-related stuff. Okay? So, before, social media for socialization, for entertainment, but these days, alam ko, for Reggies, it's now becoming a source of information. Kaya alam ko, very important ang social media sa inyo.
Apo, we totally agree po, sir. And yung social media talaga, sir, napakalaking part na siya ng buhay namin mga Reggies. Since yun nga po, nagre-research po kami and mas nagiging available na po yung mga sources and mas napapadali po yung pag-aaral namin. So for the next question to be asked by Cena Mendy. Cena?
Moving on to the question number 2, how does the institution ensure po the integrity and credibility in distributing factual information online?
Okay, so I am designated as the School Information Coordinator and one of the school paper advisors of the Eagle, our student publication in English. Now, the school does its best to ensure the credibility, the accuracy of information that we post online. So, from time to time, especially when we have important announcements, okay, sometimes I am involved in crafting, okay, what we post in our social media pages, okay. Then next, if I will be relating my job as the school paper advisor of the Eagle, then we also do our best to ensure that whatever write-ups, whatever posts, our campus journalists will be coming up with, that all information included there are accurate and are factual. So whenever there are instances in which there is a spread of misinformation, okay, the school does its best to address it right away. Kasi pag pinabayaan natin ang misinformation, sometimes it escalates, sometimes it's treated as the truth, And sometimes it causes panic and hysteria. And I'm sure many of you will remember yung instance nung nakaraan when there wasn't enough information regarding the COVID-19 situation in the school. So merong mga nag-cause ng panic, pero nung ipinresent ng school yung actual status, then nabigyang linaw at naibsan po, no, na-ease yung worries ng ating stakeholders, RSHS3.
Ayan, bilang isa nga po, alam naman po natin ang RS isa sa mga pinaka-active when it comes to events. So, very important na nakaklarify ang ating mga ine-implement na policies and such para updated lang ating mga regis. So, para sa question number 3, Iska?
So for your third question po, sir, what is your role in instilling media and literacy among the youth, particularly regis po?
Okay. I think naman no, all teachers are responsible for instilling media and information literacy among their students. That we teachers, we teach our students how to look for credible information, how not to be easily influenced or convinced by fake news, and that we encourage you to be critical thinkers. But personally, no, as a teacher, okay, I always encourage my students to do what I've mentioned earlier, and also no, when I see people spreading misinformation, okay, online, I see to it that it's addressed right away. Okay, and also as the school information coordinator and one of the school paper advisors, we're actually planning of having a media and information literacy symposium in the forthcoming months. With that, hopefully, no, we will be able to help regis across all grade levels to become more responsible netizens.
Yes, sir. Very evident naman po na responsible nga po kayo bilang isang part ng advisors ng ating school paper. So for the fourth question to be asked by Cena.
Sir, hindi po kasi kami naka-pro sa Zoom, hindi po kami naka-premium, so okay lang po ba
Yeah, I
mag-resend
understand.
lang po
Kaya,
kami ng
yeah,
link? Okay po, thank you po.
Hi everyone! Kami po ay nagbabalik dahil kami po ay mga slap soil at walang pambili ng pro sa Zoom. So yun na. Going back sa ating fourth question. For the fourth question po, sir, what practices can we implement in battling fake news to champion media integrity?
Okay. So first off, no, the term fake news, pag titignan natin, parang isa siyang it doesn't make sense kasi alam natin pag news based on facts. But we have fake news. These are stories presented as facts but are actually, okay, written with the aim to mislead or to misinform the public. So unang-una, the first thing that we can do to fight fake news is to practice fact-checking. Okay? So that when you see information being posted online, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Na napakaganda these days, you can use social media, you can use the internet to gain access to many sources of information. You just have to be discerning. Alin yung tama, alin yung totoo. Okay? So, next, you have to think before you share. Minsan kasi, no, it's a tendency, not just for students, no, but even for adults, that when they find something online, especially when it triggers them, it appeals to their emotions, sometimes i-click, i-share na lang bigla even without reading the article in its entirety. So what you have to do is to think before you share. Okay? Then you also have to verify. Yan po bang source na yan ay credible, reliable. You can also check, especially alam naman natin, no, that most misinformation is found on Facebook. Okay? So, when you see an article posted there, even if it's presented as a news article, what you have to do is to check the credibility of that page. Mamaya, kagagawa lang pala niyang page na yan. Does it have authority? Okay, news outlet ba yan? We also have to be vigilant kasi minsan may ilan na nami-mislead. Okay, iniisip nila na totoo, na iniisip nila na fake news yun, when in reality, the story was written as a parody or as a satire. Okay, minsan iba trigger, hindi nila alam. It's meant to amuse them. It's meant to to, let's say, shed light on a certain social issue, but that doesn't mean that it's actually factual. Okay? So you have to practice your fact-checking skills ninyo. When you see an article, when you see information posted online, wag agad maniniwala, wag agad uto-uto, di ba? What you have to do, you check other sources of information. Ganon din ba ang sinasabi? Okay? Then, kung maraming credible sources of information na ganun ang sinasabi about that certain issue, then chances are factually and accurate yan. Okay? Then, you also have to use your critical thinking skills. Okay? Wag agad madadala doon sa mga, sometimes you have clickbait articles kasi, di ba, very engaging yung headline, parang wala sa konteksto nung kung ano talaga yung laman ng article. So, kailangan basahin muna, maging mabusisi, maging mapanuri. Okay? So, those are just some things that you can do in order to continue fighting fake news. And alam naman natin that hindi lahat kasing mulat ng Regis. Okay? There are people who are easily swayed or influenced by fake news. So this is where you come in. Okay, when you see people spreading fake news, when you see people believing or falling for fake news, then you come in and you try to explain to them kung ano ba yung tama, kung ano ba yung totoo. Without humiliating them, you present the facts. So those are just some things that you can do to continue championing media integrity.
Yes, sir. Thank you po for that wonderful question. We totally agree po na sobrang important po talaga ng fact-checking. Lalo na ngayon, sobrang accessible po ng internet and ng Facebook. So, mas madali po talaga kumalat yung misinformation. So, moving on to the last question, Cena.
Oo, bago ko mabanggit yung ating last question, I think ang ganda lang ang sinabi ni Sir na it all starts within ourselves, na reading comprehension is the key talaga. So, Regis, maging mapanuri, maging mabusisi. For question number 5, in a short message, can you leave po a few words underpinning the fight versus fake news?
Okay, so there are some fake news which are somewhat trivial. Parang mababaw lang naman, very inconsequential, that whether people fall for them or not, wala namang malaking magbabago sa lipunan. But then, there are fake news which were designed to influence the way that we think, to influence the way that we make important decisions in our lives. Okay? So, whenever you find such fake news online, okay, syempre, maaari you will be tempted to believe them too. So that is why you'll have to use your critical thinking skills, your reading comprehension skills. So you will have to do your fact checking. Okay? So be vigilant and then be proactive also. Dun kayo mag-like, dun kayo mag-follow, mag-subscribe sa sources of information which you know are reliable and are credible. And you involve yourselves in helping others see the truth, in helping others fight fake news. We know that in the past months and even years, many of our kababayans have been victims of fake news in various aspects of their lives. They made decisions that were not founded on, let's say, on evidences, on facts. Okay? So, mahalaga that we continue fighting fake news. Mahalaga na kung kayo ay mulat sa kung ano ba yung totoo, you help others see the truth as well. So, I very much appreciate this episode of MythBusters because this is one great step towards helping Regis and the community better understand how to spot fake news, how to fight fake news. And I hope in the days to come, in the months to come, we will also be doing our best, diba, to be champions of media integrity, to be champions of the truth by sharing only what is true, what is accurate, what is factual, by helping others see, okay, whether to see or to know whether they have shared misinformation, okay. And I hope that in the years to come, finally, we will be able to do away with fake news. We will be able to live in a country, in a world where people don't fall prey to fake news right away, because we know that fake news, okay, again, kasi knowledge is power, information is power eh. And if we have fake news which are designed to influence the way that we think, the way that we make our decisions, then basically fake news can control our lives. Okay? So we have to remain vigilant, we have to remain proactive, always be on the lookout for fake news, and always champion media integrity. So I guess that's all I will have to say to our viewers, to our Reggies watching this episode of MythBusters.
Yes po, sir. We totally share that dream po na one day the truth talaga will prevail. I think kasama din sa mga highlights ng episode na to is hasain ang ating critical thinking skills, at not just that, but also to top others, enlighten others. Pero syempre, to cap off this episode, Cheska, pwede mo bang i-present itong mamunting sorpresa kay sir?
Siyempre, talaga namang ang galing sumagot ng ating special guest for today, kaya hindi pwedeng wala siyang premium makukuha. So, paki-reveal na nga kanyang prize.
Ayan.
So,
Nadagdagan po, sir.
Nadagdagan, sir. Padagdag
Okay,
na padagdag.
padagdagan ha.
Ayan. Kasi hindi pa po yata matutumbasan nito yung abala na nabigay natin kay sir, no? Pero thank you very much po once again.
Ayan, sir, meron ka ng pang EQ at pedicure para kay Hayden.
Ayan.
Kasi alam namin na isa ka rin tatay, hindi lang po advisor ng ating school paper. So, ayan,
Ayan.
sir, may pa-house and lot na din.
Pag yan wala sa pasukan ha.
Ipiprint namin yan, sir. Huwag ka mag-alala.
Ayan.
Okay, I guess that sums up the episode 2 of the Bona Fide Boss. And once again po, this is the MythBusters signing off. Bye guys! Thank you po!